its defensive presence. This is a team that was picked 8th in the Pac-12. Good look at Quay Miller, who is from nearby Renton, Washington, a Washington transfer. First Sweet 16 since 2003. They're 7th overall. Last time they went to the Elite Eight back in 2002 when they lost to Oklahoma. Caitlin Clark's team had to eke out a win against Georgia to get to the Sweet 16, and we are underway in Seattle. Holly Rowe is with us as well tonight for this doubleheader. Same starting 5 for Iowa over the last 3 seasons. The familiarity is there. Clark and Sonano.
Well, Colorado coming out right away with this pressure on the perimeter, and Monica Sonano does what she does best. She shoots it nearly 70% from the floor.
Yeah, very rarely misses. As we take a look at our Capital One starting lineups for Colorado, Jalen Sherrod is their very talented point guard. Rita Foreman is a sharpshooter out of Denmark. Jones, Miller, and Vonleh, who is an Arizona transfer, didn't get a lot of playing time for the Wildcats. Round out their starting 5. First shot is golden.
And Jalen Sherrod is going to have that all day long. Monica Sonano is staying in the paint, not guarding Vonleh out in that 2-man game. That pull-up's going to be there.
And then the block by Jones. McKenna Warnock getting the bucket for the Hawkeyes. Inside, good look, and the finish for Foreman. You're used to seeing shoot threes.
Well, that's just terrific execution. Using Vonleh as a screener when Sonano's not guarding her up top.
How do you guard Caitlin Clark? Well, that's what you do. Draw the attention and then get it to Sonano.
And I love that Caitlin Clark is looking to distribute right away. She's drawing multiple defenders, and putting Sonano in the 2-man with her forces Vonleh to commit.
Second straight year that Caitlin Clark has led the country in assists per game. Also leading in triple doubles. Foreman with the step back. Rebound. Gets Colorado a fresh 20 seconds on the shot clock. Now Vonleh, you see how far they're gonna, how much room they're gonna give her. Not a threat as the shot clock winds down. 3-pointer, back rim. Clark hunts it down. A terrific rebounder as well. Left it short, but was fouled.
Well, this is an Iowa Hawkeye team that is so dangerous when you get scoring from multiple people on the floor. McKenna Warnock can stretch the floor with those 3-point shots. And then working without the basketball, Monica Sonano working with Caitlin Clark in the 2-man game in various ways. And she is so efficient on the inside. All she has to do is get the touch.
And Caitlin Clark, who is an outstanding free throw shooter, leads the nation in free throw attempts per game. Getting to the line 7.5 times per game on average. Vonleh couldn't handle it.
And that was a good look inside. I felt like on the high-low, Vonleh not able to corral it. But this is where Colorado has an advantage offensively. They play with 2 bigs. They're very interchangeable. They can look to work that high-low action.
Miller and Vonleh both listed at 6'3". Clark turns the corner. Defended by Sherrod, who tried to get the charge call. Instead, Clark just missed the shot. Ball thrown away and goes back over to Iowa.
And that's 2 missed opportunities to get Vonleh a touchdown low. And I think that's exactly what Colorado's got to do. They've got to find a way to put some pressure on Sonano on the defensive end of the floor, get Vonleh touches, but 2 missed opportunities.
They're not going to get a lot against Iowa. Sonano, nice move, left it short with her offhand. Monica hitting 68% of her shots on the season. Sweet look, but the finish not quite there for Jones. Transfer out of Georgetown. Gabby Marshall has been on fire from 3. That misses. Now it's Kate Martin's turn, and she puts it through.
And Kate Martin struggled in the first and second round from the floor. So good news for Hawkeye fans. She found the bottom of the net there.
Martin, one of the captains on this team. Does have another year of eligibility remaining. Good defense by Sonano, but Miller, boy, another missed opportunity inside. So a 7-0 Iowa run. Martin tried to go under.
Look at how fast Sherrod is with the basketball.
Foreman with the quick release. Rebound. Jones gives him an extra 20 seconds. Sherrod, an all Pac-12 and all defensive player. Running the point, 0-0. Now takes the shot. Foreman, fouled. So Iowa off to a quick start. They've scored the last 7 points of this game in the Sweet 16. Off to a very fast start here in beautiful Seattle, up 12-4 over Colorado in this Sweet 16 game. Pam Ward along with Steph White. And Steph, we've got Caitlin Clark, a great scorer, but there's a lot more to her game.
Yeah, her vision and delivery are ridiculous. She leads the nation in assists, and this is why. She draws multiple defenders. She reads the defense. She sees how much space is between Gabby Marshall and the defender, and she delivers the pass right on time. And here you're going to see her at the top of the key. Again, she shoots the logo 3, so you've got to come up. She reads the low block defender and finds Monica Sonano in time. She's constantly delivering a pass on time, on target. And already today, she's finding Sonano early. I mean, this is a team in Iowa that has a lot of assists to made field goals, and those two in particular work perfectly together.
So far, 2 assists for Caitlin Clark. You just saw them, both of them, to Monica Sonano. And this is a Colorado team that has gone 3.5 minutes without a point, hit their first couple of shots from the floor and none since then, missing their last 8. Frida Foreman is from Bogsvard, Denmark. Honorable mention, all Pac-12, 1 out of 2 from the line. Clark comes up with yet another rebound. 7th time these two programs have played. Last time was in 2017. Clark draws contact and got it.
This is an area that Caitlin Clark has really improved, being able to finish off of 2 feet. She's gained 8 pounds of muscle from a season ago, so she's strong on the interior. She can receive contact, she can finish, she can stay on balance, and she is terrific from the foul line.
Weta with the foul on Clark, who heads to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Iowa now with a 10-point advantage. Weta into the game for Colorado is the one who committed the foul on Clark. Ball goes out of bounds and it's been tipped. Melissa Barlow, Cameron Inouye, and Angela Enland, our officials this evening. Not much of a rest for Sherrod. She's on the court quite a bit. Colorado was the only Division I school that offered her a scholarship.
It's incredible when you think about that and what Jalen Sherrod has meant to this program and her consistent improvement. She talked about, though, her biggest growth area being vocal leadership, understanding how to communicate with each one of her teammates.
And for Iowa, is the rebound coming back out to Foreman. That's her specialty. Iowa did not have Hannah Stuelke in their last game. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, good news for Iowa fans. Hannah Stuelke has checked into this game. She twisted an ankle in their last round. She was going to play, was in their shoot around. They thought she'd play until about 20 minutes before tip-off. It looked like it was just too much pain for her. But she's done a ton of rehab. She's back out on the court, and she is a huge addition to this team right now, particularly with 2 posts like Colorado has. For her to be in defensively, it's a huge add to the Hawkeyes.
It really is, and Stokey and Sonano really complement one another. You've got Stokey who can face up, who can attack off the bounce, a terrific rebounder as well, and Monica Sonano, who inside we know that she can dominate in the paint.
She is a freshman from just up the road from Iowa City in Cedar Rapids. Did a lot of pool work, was over at the Iowa football facility. Said she did some needling.
Yeah, did some dry needling.
You know that?
Yeah, certainly do. It's very, very helpful. But you know, it's really incredible what these athletic trainers can do now, and how quickly they can help these athletes recover and get prepared for the next game.
And Stokey gave a lot of credit to the training staff at Iowa, school she always wanted to go to.
Lisa Bluder said that Hannah Stokey committed after her freshman year in high school.
She is playing now in tandem with Sonano.
Well, Iowa's struggling on the glass early in this ball game, so having both of them on the floor is going to be important. But you got to get a hand up. You can't allow Frida Foreman that much time and space.
She certainly can hurt you. She's hitting 46% from distance during the NCAA tournament. And she's already got a couple of them today. Clark puts on the brakes, off Stokey's hands, who might not have been quite ready for it. It's an 8-0 Colorado run to get back into it.
Well, you said it, Pam. Frida Foreman, this is what she does, and there has to be more of a sense of urgency in getting out to contest a three-point shooter shot.
Foreman was found by Coach J.R. Payne. Someone sent her an email. She said it was like in the middle of the night, happened to open it. Says she doesn't usually, and she saw the video, and her response, she told us, was yes, 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 yes. A triple yes. And Foreman, who has an entire family that has participated in basketball, the national team, especially in Denmark, now calling Boulder home during the basketball and academic season. And boy, Colorado really storming back after being down 10. That's Vonleh.
They had to shake off the jitters, I think, early in this ball game, looking to settle in. Caitlin Clark has an answer.
Yeah, speaking of having to guard out at the perimeter, Caitlin now 54 straight games with at least 1-3. The double down on Vonleh. Foreman, red hot.
Frida Foreman, textbook form and arc on your shot. So if you're a young player and you're watching this ball game, take note of the way that Foreman shoots the basketball.
She has 11 of Colorado's 17 points. Martin cutting to the basket, good feed from Warnock, and induces a foul.
We got a little back and forth going on here, Pam. Caitlin Clark, that's what she loves to do. Going left into the step back three, knocks it down. And in the on-ball screen, this is the advantage Colorado has if Monica Sonano is going to play so far off of Vonleh in the two-man game.
See Foreman right now outscoring Clark. Foreman has 2 threes. Kate Martin at the line. Senior from Edwardsville, Illinois. Caitlin Clark told us earlier this season how valuable Martin is to this team, trying to get her to come back next year. In fact, I think Caitlin said she is coming back next year, at least according to Caitlin. Sherrod, well short on the three. Goes out of bounds, will be Iowa basketball. J.R. Payne, what a job she has done now in her 7th season in charge of Colorado, getting the back on the map. And Clark having big time trouble getting it in. Warnock quickly gets it back to Clark, who as usual is very calm, working against Weta. Sonano with the screen. Clark needs no room.
Pam, I don't know how Colorado's going to play the two-man game if they're going to leave Aaronette Vonleh in the paint when Monica Sonano comes out. If I'm Iowa, I am continuing to run that time and time again.
But Foreman is matching everything. That is her 3rd three in this quarter. Clark with the drive, wanted the foul, nothing doing. Sherrod is fast. And then gets it over to Vonleh on the dish. And Vonleh called for the foul in the backcourt. Molly Davis coming into the game and getting fouled for Iowa.
Well, there's going to be a steady dose of this two-man game right here, and Caitlin Clark just reads it perfectly. There's no help from a post defender, knocks down a three, but Frida Foreman has an answer. She hit 5 threes against Middle Tennessee State in the first round matchup. She can light it up, and she's hot early.
Clark with 11 points already, and that a big foul. That is the second for Sherrod.
I think you stay up there and continue to re-screen. There's no need to go to where the defender is. Give Caitlin Clark a couple of on-ball screens up there to work. If you don't have it after that, then go into your next action.
Colorado trailed by 10 in this game. Missed 9 of their first 11 shots. Have hit 7 of their last 8, but their point guard Sherrod is out now with the 2 fouls. Drives Sonano a little bit late, getting over. Rebound into the hands of Kate Martin. Clark working on Weta, goes up, under, and a little bit too strong. Now Weta slows things down at the behest of head coach J.R. Payne. Vonleh kicking it out, gets it back. Colorado continuing to have success on the offensive glass. Shot clock, in fact, the quarter clock winding down, and then a foul on Iowa.
Yeah, that's not a smart play by Caitlin Clark. She already had 1 foul, so she just picked up her second. Shot clock's winding down, just play good contained defense.
Second one indeed on Caitlin Clark. There's Lisa Bluter, 23rd year on the bench for the Hawkeyes. Clark goes out, has a word with one of the officials. Caitlin's usually not quiet for long. Very ultra competitive. Colorado trying to get the last points of the quarter. And what a quarter it was. Iowa had a 10-point lead, now just up 1. Coming up, an interview with J.R. Payne. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Back in Seattle, where after 1 quarter of play, Iowa clinging to a 1-point lead over Colorado. Here's Holly Rowe with Buff head coach J.R. Payne.
So Coach Payne, you're down by 10 early in this game. How did your team regroup in that moment to go on this run?
Yeah, I think just picked up our intensity a little bit on the defensive side of the floor, which is typically how we sort of get going. Didn't want to have such a sluggish start, but glad we clawed our way back in.
Frida Foreman, you've known what she can do, but how is she showing the country right now? She's dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, she is dangerous. You know, she's confident. We're all very confident in her, so we love it when her feet are set and she lets it fly.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
So far, so good for Foreman, who in that first quarter hit 3 of her 5 threes. Just saw Holly Rowe, Pam Ward, and Stephanie White joining you as we take a look at our leading scores. Just heard about Foreman. Caitlin Clark with 11 points, but picked up that second foul very late in the first quarter.
Yeah, that just, at that point, wasn't a smart play for Caitlin Clark, but she's been able to play through foul trouble before. Lisa Bluter trusts her on the floor. Certainly the Hawkeyes are going to need her on the floor.
Well, Iowa had a big 10-1 run, and then Colorado followed with a 12-3 run. Good look at Foreman, whose mother played on the Danish national team. Her father was the coach when they met. And they have a whole brood of Foreman basketball players in Denmark. So Clark scoring or assisting on 15 of Iowa's 23 first quarter points. Rose has a very high percentage. Clark starts this second quarter on the bench with the 2 personal fouls. And That is a place Coach Bluter said she hates to be and always is asking to get back into the game.
She's a competitor. She wants to be out there.
Vonleh with the bucket, and they're on top.
Vonleh, co-most improved player in the Pac-12. She talked about just getting opportunity. The skill set was always there, but Monica Sonano right back at her.
And then the reverse is true as Sonano scores on Vonleh. Vonleh barely played at Arizona and came in getting lots of playing time, the starter. And as Steph mentioned, co-most improved player in the Pac-12 this season.
I like Colorado giving her touches down low. I think she has the ability to bury Sonano inside.
That's steps called on Sadler.
I mean, this is just a terrific touch pass by Kate Martin. Great position. I mean, Monica Sonano just does her work early. That's why she doesn't need the dribbles. She's efficient in her footwork. She understands her spots on the floor, and her teammates, they've started together for 3 years. They know exactly how, where, when to get her the ball.
And that's so key, especially in this day and age of so many people transferring. We are keeping track, and Monica Sonano dribbled once in the first quarter.
I wouldn't be surprised if she goes the rest of the game without dribbling.
Doesn't need to. Weta just called for a foul, pardon me, her second for Colorado.
And Pam, honestly, that's the sign of a good low block post player. As soon as you put it down, what happens? Guards come, they swarm.
And Iowa playing without Clark. Davis, the Central Michigan transfer. Martin, good pass from Marshall. And Kate Martin's just one of those players that seems to do everything.
She does. She does. She's one of those utility players who knocks down big shots when you need them, who gets big rebounds, who plays multiple positions. But Iowa, the unselfishness, the extra pass, you've got to be aware of three-point shooters all over the floor.
And then the three the other way, that's Jones, the Georgetown transfer, her first points of the night.
Tayana Jones was 0 for 2 from the field against Duke. This is a Colorado team that has shot the ball particularly well in the NCAA tournament and shooting with confidence.
He won at Duke in overtime. Molly Davis with the little floater on the baseline. Vonleh with Warnock fronting her now in the post. There she's got the ball. Jones, little step back three. A little bit wide to the left, ball on the floor. Sadler corrals, wasn't guarded. And Abby Marshall comes up with the rebound. Martin, that was a tricky pass, trying to get it on the bounce to Sonano. Jones. Sonano coming up with another rebound. Sonano actually the second leading rebounder on this team behind Clark. Who leads her team in points, rebounds, and assists this year. Martin dribbled into trouble, but the ball stays with the Hawks.
This is just great ball movement by Iowa. Terrific extra pass by Gabby Marshall, and Kate Martin knocking down the three. And then Molly Davis, Lisa Bluter said Molly Davis is a capable scorer. She was leading scorer in Central Michigan and transferred here to Iowa and has passed up a lot of shot opportunities, but certainly capable.
And that time a little bit too much on the reverse attempt for Davis. Foreman, no one near her. All right, you're a head coach. Would you just be going ballistic right now?
Yes,
with her that wide open?
Absolutely. She is the one person on the floor for Colorado that you have to contest from three consistently.
Sonano kept it alive, but then it was knocked away by Vonleh, and that's Kate Martin doing Kate Martin things. It's a kid who's broken her nose almost as many times as Sue Bird. For the third straight year, every NCAA Women's Basketball Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships, all games on the ESPN networks and the app. She's back in the game.
It would be appropriate to use a Sue Bird reference since we're
in Seattle.
And
they are going to have a ceremony to retire Sue's number. during the WNBA season, Sue finally retiring after, to say the least, a very successful career. Warnock. Wow. It was better, the pass to the finish.
The finish, absolutely, but that was a heck of a pass. And Lisa Bluder talked about this Colorado pressure defense and how it really opens Iowa up to those backdoor cuts that they like to get. It's so much about timing, so much about delivery, but again, Colorado and Weta with the answer.
Weta, the only Coloradan on this team, native of Colorado. That's what a Coloradan is, I believe.
You believe?
I think that's the right word.
Is that true?
I think it's the right word. Clark lost it out of bounds, much to the delight of the Colorado fans who've come west.
I mean, Caitlin Clark almost had nowhere to go, and McKenna Warnock gave her an opening with the backdoor cut, and that was a heck of a finish by Warnock.
Warnock has 1 year of eligibility left, but will not use it. She's going to go to dental school. So valuable on this team. Comes up with another rebound, but then is tied up by Weta.
This is just a gritty, tough Colorado basketball team. You see it on the defensive end of the floor. You see it the way they pursue rebounds, playing with multiple levels of effort consistently.
Hanging their hat on defense, their assistant coach, Toriano Towns, who happens to be head coach J.R. Payne's husband, is sort of the defensive coordinator. There's a good look at him. Jimmy Platt getting us the shots tonight. He was a defensive back at St. Mary's on the football team when JR played on the basketball team. Here's Caitlin. A little bit too strong off glass. Tie ball game as we hit 5 minutes to go in the first half. Sweet 16, game number 1 coming from Seattle. And the 3 ball is falling tonight for the Buffs. That's Weta.
Colorado made a NCAA program record 13 threes in their first round matchup against Middle Tennessee. They are playing with a lot of confidence, shooting the basketball from three-point land.
We already have 6 tonight. Sonano couldn't come up with the rebound. So Iowa, usually when you think about hitting threes, you're thinking it is Iowa, but tonight, the kids from Boulder are throwing them in Seattle.
Up on the Degree halftime report, it's been less sweet and a more spicy 16.
Ooh.
We've got highlights from the first 2 games, but we knew Colorado was going to bring the defense. You like what they're doing offensively, Nikki?
I really love what Frida Foreman is doing. She's establishing herself as a three-point specialist right now. She's shooting 4 of 6 from the three-point line.
Well, I got to switch up my go-to phrase. It seems like Colorado has figured out how to slow down Caitlin Clark.
Well done. We will expound all that and more coming up at halftime. For now, we get it back to Pam and Steph in Seattle.
All righty, thank you very much. And this is the Seattle 4 regional coming up later. Louisville and Ole Miss. Ole Miss going into Stanford and beating them. And then tomorrow, the other half of the bracket that will eventually meet in Dallas gets underway. Maryland, Notre Dame in the morning, and South Carolina and UCLA. Right now, Colorado with the 3-point advantage over Iowa. They were down by 10 in the first quarter. Warnock thought she had forced a turnover, and
I thought she was fouled.
Yeah, Marshall hit the
Jones
deck.
Pushed her. I mean, just a scramble for the ball. It didn't quite go out. Gabby Marshall goes to get it, and Jones pushed her right there. Got away with one.
Underneath, Weta with the assist, Foreman with the finish.
What a finish. I mean, you said it. She's been knocking it down from 3, moves without the basketball.
Clark. She's into double figures, but Foreman right now, how about 19 points for her? That's only 4 off her season high. Clark had missed her last 4 shots before that one went in. Ball goes over to the Iowa bench, but stays on this end of the court.
Colorado doing an outstanding job of sharing the basketball. That is a heck of a pass and a catch and finish by Frida Foreman.
Now Weta working the point. Sherrod we haven't seen her in a while, out with the 2 personal fouls, and Colorado getting the lead. Shot clock winding down. Offensive rebound. Weta saves the possession. Miller has been rather quiet. Another offensive board, but then a travel. Colorado with 9 offensive rebounds already in this game.
Well, they're doing an outstanding job of crashing the glass. And if you're the Hawkeyes and Lisa Bluder, you have to be concerned about that. They haven't done a great job of converting yet, but it gets them more possession. It gives them more opportunities.
Yeah, check that. That was their 10th offensive rebound, the last one on that sequence. But yeah, 10 offensive boards, Steph, and just 4 points to show for it in second chance points.
It's heartbreaking if you're a defender and you do everything according to scout, get him to take shots that you want to take, but you can't finish the play.
Let's go over to Holly Rowe.
This score right now for Colorado may surprise people around the country, but it does not surprise this team. They have known that they had all the pieces to be really great. And when they were picked to finish 8th in the Pac-12 in the preseason, the players said that got us heated. They really put their minds together. They ended up finishing 3rd. Here they are giving Iowa, one of the top teams in the country all season long, a terrific first half. And they've known all along this is what they had in them. People on the outside might not have known, but they've all been sure.
And look, the Pac-12 is an outstanding conference. And you think about what they've done night in and night out, what they've gone against night in and night out. And Utah, who's a tremendous scoring team, a fast-paced team, like to get up and down, have a terrific post player in Peely. And so this is a Colorado team that's familiar with the type of game that Iowa plays.
Last foul was on Jones, her 2nd for Colorado. Gabby Marshall's only taken 1 shot for the Hawkeyes, missed a 3. And that's a travel on a falter.
Well, Lisa Bluder knew that this Colorado defense would try to speed them up. And she said, we've seen some defenses that have tried to speed us up as well, but Colorado is doing an outstanding job of staying disciplined, of defending without fouling, of taking away easy opportunities.
And remember, this is the best scoring offense in the country. Miller has 1 rim out. Iowa averaging 87.5 points per game. They also lead the nation in field goal percentage, 3-point percentage up there in the top 10. Warnock with the miss. A falter, has it grabbed. Possession arrow keeps it with Iowa. NCAA Men's Basketball Championship continues tonight on TBS and CBS. For more information on game times and networks, go to NCAA.com. First of 2 games we'll have for you tonight on ESPN from here in Seattle. We got Ole Miss and Louisville coming up. Clark stopped by Sadler, gets that screen again from Sonano. Caitlin Clark struggling now from the floor, has missed 7 of her 11 shots. Still has 13 points, 3 assists. As we hit 2 minutes to go in the first half. Caitlin's missed 5 of her last 6 shots. Inside, Vonleh couldn't score, but a foul on Iowa on the rebound. They got Martin. Lisa Bluder, screen right. You saw Jan Jensen, her longtime assistant, has done such a great job coaching the posts.
WBCA Assistant Coach of the Year.
Before Sonano had Megan Gustafson, who was tremendous. A falter. It's a 3-on-2. Marshall in the open court finally gets her first basket of the game. And Gabby Marshall in her last 12 games hitting 59% from 3. Missed her only 3 tonight. Finally gets her first 2. Chancy pass, Martin accepts it. Iowa with the chance to take the lead back. Kick. So McKenna Warnock checks back in for a falter, so Lisa Bluter has her starting 5 back out on the floor. Clark with the inbound. Sonano doesn't even look to shoot when she's that far away from the basket. Posts up. Yes, and the foul. No dribble that time either.
And she just keeps working. I mean, Aaronette Vonleh is making it really tough. She is playing outstanding defense, and Sonano just gets her position where she wants it, goes up through the contact, and finishes off the glass. I like it. 0 dribbles, 0 problems.
And many points for Sonano, 5th year senior out of Watertown, Minnesota in the Twin Cities area. Pardon me. It's a 7-0 run. As you see, the drought is over 3.5 minutes now for Colorado. Miller turned, might have gotten away with steps. Inside, contest by Sonano, and another foul. Abby Marshall called for her first foul for Iowa. As Sadler steps up to the free throw line. University of Washington transfer. Played her freshman year there, her 2nd year at Colorado.
It's interesting because J.R. Payne talked to us about defending Caitlin Clark, and she said just 100% of the time you can't relax. You have to be on point. Well, right now, 100% of the time you can't relax on Colorado because they are coming with so many levels of effort on the offensive glass, and as soon as the Hawkeyes turn around and just take a breath, Colorado has the rebound already. So heightened attention to detail defensively and finishing a play is something Lisa Bluter is going to talk about defensively. 12 offensive rebounds for the Bucks.
Deflection and the steal. Foreman has been the scoring star so far. 19 points for Colorado, gives it up, and now the shot clock is off. Sadler goes with 8 seconds left to go on the clock. Drives on Marshall, got it. Executed perfectly. Sherrod, their starting point guard, didn't see a lot of action at all in the first half after picking up her 2nd foul, but Sadler coming in and was able to get the last bucket of the half. And Colorado, once down 10, is up 1. Let's go over to Holly.
Well, Frida, you have been hitting all of your 3-point shots. How are you finding and seeing those so quickly?
My teammates are just getting it to me, and if I'm open, I'm shooting it.
Your parents are here all the way from Denmark. What's it like playing in this moment with your family here, watching you shine?
It's amazing. It's the first game they've seen all year, so I'm just really happy to be able to do this in front of them.
So you're showing up for them in their first time they've seen you?
Yeah, and all the other Buff fans that are here, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe mom and dad should come more often, right? Because she is on fire. Foreman with 4 threes. Colorado is up by 1. Let's go to the studio and Elle Duncan.
Thanks, Pam. Thanks, Steph. Welcome to the Degree.
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. We are in Seattle, where Colorado right now has a 1-point lead over 2-seed Iowa in this Seattle 4 region. Caitlin Clark struggling a little bit with her shot, just 2 points in the 2nd quarter. Frida Foreman looking Caitlin Clark like. 19 points for her, including 4 3-pointers. Pam Ward along with Stephanie White. Holly Rowe will be joining us shortly, and we're going to take a look now. Game Changers presented by Under Armour.
Well, Colorado has been outstanding offensively. Frida Foreman and Aaronette Vonleh. The interior presence of Vonleh putting pressure inside on Monica Sonano and on this Iowa defense. And Frida Foreman from the outside has been lighting it up. 4 of 7 from the three-point line, 7 of 11 from the floor. 19 points early in this ball game, and the Hawkeyes have their hands full with those two.
They certainly do. This is a Colorado team, again, that was picked 8th in the Pac-12, finished 3rd during the regular season, and that is their best finish ever since coming over to that conference. We had a chance to talk to several of their players yesterday, and a lot of them feeling disrespected and trying to prove everybody wrong. And something that's got to give a shot in the arm to head coach J.R. Payne in particular, Steph. They have this lead, even though Sherrod only played their starting point guard 8.5 minutes because of foul trouble. And Quay Miller didn't score at all, their leading scorer.
Yeah, you've really got to feel good if you're Colorado. And what they've done, Pam, is they've just continued to pursue. They've been great on the offensive glass. They've gotten themselves multiple possessions.
Clark and Sherrod collide, and if that's on Sherrod, that is number 3, and committing that just 14 seconds into the 3rd quarter. And it is indeed her 3rd.
Yeah, that's a big play right there. Could have gone either way, really. And Sherrod called for that 3rd foul. Now, she was a player that we talked to, and just, I love her energy. I love her passion, talking to us about that's what I win in life with. My energy, my passion, my competitiveness. Well, she really is the heart and soul of this ball club.
Yeah, undersized, listed at 5'7", not highly recruited because of her size. And Monica Sonano with another finish into double figures.
Sam, she makes that look easy, but the timing of when she releases her seal to go get the ball is so important. She holds it till the ball is over her head. She goes to get it, and that allows her to finish on the other side. If you release too soon, it's a steal.
Colorado answers. Foreman having one heck of a night. She's just 2 off her season high and 4 away, pardon me, from her career high. Martin with the chance at a 3-point play. Frida Foreman committing her 2nd foul, sending Kate Martin to the free throw line. And more contact as Vonleh and Warnock got tied up. Foul on Vonleh, that is her 2nd. Vonleh from the Great Pacific Northwest, Westland, Oregon, a few hours away from Seattle. Martin all the way through. Marshall left open. She's missed both of her 3s tonight. And what a difference maker she has been in the last several games for them from outside.
Yeah, she really has. 59% in the last 11 games. Really struggled early in the season. And she talked to us about the fact that she just got in the gym. She got more reps. She got a lot of shots up. And you see the first 23 games, 24% from the 3-point line. And of course, her production down. But the thing I love, my teammates were in my ear. They had confidence in me. They told me to keep shooting the basketball. They believed in me. And when you have teammates like that that keep lifting you up, I mean, it is so important and helps you keep your confidence.
Yeah, you saw since February 9th, no one in the country shooting better from 3. You saw Miller just chuck up an air ball for the Buffs, who continue just this smothering defense. This Iowa team, one of the best in the entire nation in offense.
Quay Miller's going to find it. She's going to find it at some point in this ball game. There's no doubt about it.
Well, Caitlin Clark has received just 1 field goal since a couple of minutes ago in the 1st quarter. Sonano called for the offensive foul. 2nd on her. 4-time first-team All-Big Ten performer. Again, this is her 5th year. Barely got off the bench in her freshman year when she backed up Megan Gustafson. Good defense that time on Vonleh. Clark, Marshall, Foreman came out to seal her off. Sonano. Bounce pass. Warnock somehow able to keep it in bounds, but Miller stopped her. Clark, you saw the head fake. No one would be surprised if she put one up from there, but instead she drives.
And Pam, that's where she's really grown and she's really matured. Early in her career, you would see Caitlin Clark continue to chuck from the three-point line. Now she picks and chooses when she gets to the rim, when she takes the threes, when she gets to the mid-range, much more selective.
Makes her a lot harder to guard, too. Sonano got a hand on it. Clark with the terrific pass to Warnock. That's vintage Caitlin Clark. It's a 6-0 Hawkeye run. Jones shaken up a bit for Colorado, but here's Caitlin.
She had her choice, right?
The previous play is under further review.
Getting to the rim with the finish and in transition where she's so dangerous. On the money. Gets to 2.
The NCAA Women's Championship, presented by Capital One, is brought to you by Under Armour. Protect this house. And so far, Iowa outscoring Colorado by 6 in this third quarter. First of 2 Sweet 16 games coming your way from Seattle. Caitlin Clark with a couple of terrific passes here in the third quarter. Louisville and Ole Miss coming up next. Caitlin with 15 points so far, and Iowa burying it in the paint so far in this quarter.
Well, this is what Iowa tends to do. In the second half, they really look to get Monica Sonano established. I'm not sure why it doesn't always happen in the first half. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But particularly in the second half, they try to get her touches early.
Colorado has hit just 1 field goal in this third quarter. Foreman has it.
Great take. Oh.
Just a little bit too strong. Now Iowa on the run. Marshall. Terrific job by Weta to get down there and seal her off. Sonano, nothing to it from Clark again.
Head is always up. Eyes are always scanning.
Foreman has it cup out, and a foul call.
And look at where Caitlin Clark gets this ball. She is deep in the corner, but her head is up. She's looking for her teammates. She sees Sonano coming down the floor, and again, the timing of delivery and the pass.
And Monica Sonano has just picked up her 3rd personal foul for Iowa. That is a big deal coming in for her now. Addison O'Grady, a sophomore from Aurora, Colorado. A major weapon. Sonano, as you mentioned, Steph, has been a focal point here in the third quarter, and she's on the bench now with 3 fouls. Miller threw it away. O'Grady only averaging a couple of points a game, did not play a single second in the first half tonight.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Iowa plays offensively now, because they've been playing inside out. They've used Sonano in the 2-man game. But if I'm Colorado, I am going right at O'Grady inside.
Absolutely. O'Grady with the ball right now. Not much of an offensive threat. Sets the screen. Fights for the rebound, but Sherrod, the smallest player on the floor, comes up with it. Sadler trying to get it in, like you mentioned, to Vonleh, and she is being held by O'Grady. Let's go over to Holly Rowe.
Well, Jalen Sherrod is the smallest player on the floor, but she has the biggest passion, the biggest energy. She was told for most of her life she was too little to play on this stage. She didn't have any other Power 5 offers other than from J.R. Payne in Colorado. She said, I'm so grateful, but I know I can win in life with my passion and my energy, and that's how we see this little player play with the biggest spirit on the court.
Absolutely has been a tremendous force for this program. A senior from Birmingham, Alabama. All Pac-12 performer this year. Got into early foul trouble and picked up her 3rd foul just 14 seconds into this quarter, but Coach Payne has her back on the floor.
Yeah, she's got to be on the floor. She's too quick with the basketball in her hand. She's a tremendous defender. Now you see she's not checking Caitlin Clark, so they've moved her off of defending the ball. But the other thing I like that Jalen Sherrod talked to us about was just this team and the grit and the pride and the toughness as Caitlin Clark knocks down a 3.
There are a lot of Iowa fans here in Seattle, and Caitlin with the steal and the stick. Colorado needs a timeout. It's a 13-0 Hawkeye run.
Caitlin Clark knocks down the deep three. The emotion, the passion, the energy, the Hawkeyes are feeling it. Clark already has 20 in this ball game. She has been exceptional, finding her open teammates, picking her spots, getting to the rim, finishing with contact. In typical Caitlin Clark fashion, the left hand step back knocks it down, and then in transition, Iowa on this run, she had 5 points right away. J.R. Payne had to call the timeout.
Caitlin Clark and Iowa dominating in this quarter. This is a 13-0 Iowa run. Colorado, meanwhile, has not scored in almost 4.5 minutes. Sherrod breaks the drought. They had missed 6 straight shots until she hit that.
And I think you got to continue to give her looks going downhill. If she gets to the rim like that, it's going to force some help, which then is going to open up Foreman again on the perimeter.
Clark draws the foul and gets yet another basket.
We were talking at halftime about Caitlin Clark struggling in the second quarter. You knew she was going to come out and she was going to try to take over this ball game. And there you see the little post up. She said, I can get to the rim. I can play with my back to the basket. Show you the post moves. Last 7 points for the Hawkeyes.
These are her parents with brother Colin in the middle. It's a personal run here for Clark. She scored 8 straight now for Iowa. Meanwhile, Colorado just 4 points in this quarter. Grady continues to play for Sonano, out with 3 fouls. Sherrod again.
She's going to heat up. And J.R. Payne has to go with her with those 3 fouls. They've got to put the ball in her hands. They've got to let her make decisions.
Colorado here because they upset Duke in overtime in Durham in the second round. Clark didn't pull it. Instead, the bounce pass to O'Grady, right back to Clark. Warnock able to get inside of Miller to get the rebound. Sadler drawing the defensive assignment on Clark. Caitlin looked up and saw that the shot clock was winding down, but she was fouled on her way to the basket. Foreman now has 3 personals for Colorado. 1-person wrecking crew for the Buffs in the first half with 19 points. And now Caitlin Clark right back to the free throw line where she gets so many of her points.
Well, Iowa already in the penalty. They've done a good job of really being aggressive to the rim, of putting some more pressure on this Colorado defense to defend off the bounce.
Clark family from West Des Moines, Iowa. Clark 1 out of 2 on that trip. It's now a 9-0, at least for Iowa. Clark scoring their last 9 points. And there you see the comparison. That's in the first half where she missed 7 of 11 shots. And all the right-hand column, that all happened in the first 6.5 minutes of this quarter. Sherrod dribbled right into trouble and was fouled by Martin.
Well, there was a subtle change for Kate Martin because she tried to force Sherrod back into the help, wasn't allowing her to drive that baseline. But Sherrod is just so quick with that first step, you can't contain her.
Her first trip to the line tonight. For the 3rd straight year, every NCAA Women's Basketball Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships. All games also on the networks and the ESPN app. An empty trip. J.R. Payne nicknamed by her father after J.R. Ewing, who was one tough cuss, and apparently she even admits that she was kind of an ornery child, a difficult child.
But nicknamed her that for her toughness. Love it. Colorado comes and changes defensive execution in that point, 2-3 zone, that possession.
Her given name is Allie Marie, by the way.
And the only person who calls her that is her mother.
Yes, she's from Tennessee, from the South. She's like, they have to give you like 2 first names, so she was Allie Marie, now known as JR. Martin with the nifty pass into O'Grady.
Nifty, Pam. That was more than nifty. That was outstanding. You undersold it. Like, gee, would you just come down, right? Exactly. Holy smokes. And if that's Frida Foreman, I believe that's her 4th foul. That's big time for Colorado.
O'Grady pressed into action with Sonano getting into foul trouble with an amazing pass. There's Monica. Not used to sitting for long periods of time. O'Grady delivers at the line. She was 4 of 10 on the season on free throws before she buried 2 very important ones.
And right now, I like this change. Going to the 2-3 zone by Lisa Bluter. Who's going to consistently knock down outside shots for Colorado with Frida Foreman on the bench? I think you can pack it in even more.
Colorado is a team that doesn't take a whole lot of three-point shots. Well, Miller with a good spin, but she is having an off night. Has not hit a field goal yet. Kate Martin couldn't get it home. Sherrod driving on Clark, but another foul has been called on the Hawkeyes. And it's Clark. That is the 3rd on Clark. So the dynamic duo of Clark and Sonano each have 3 personal fouls. But they're not going to sit Clark.
Not right now. No, I think you get a couple of possessions, you see where the momentum goes, and then you make that decision.
Clark continuing to talk to whatever official happens to be in the same area code of her. Out of 2 for Sherrod. Miller able to grab the rebound away from O'Grady. Just 7 points for the Buffs in this quarter. O'Grady with the foul. Monica Sonano is going to check back in and was going to do that even before the O'Grady foul. It's 2 on O'Grady. Scored a couple of points at the line. The Iowa fans give her a nice round of applause for holding down the fort before their superstar center could come back in. Boy, Sherrod really struggling at the line, 70% on the season.
She's had a hard time really getting into rhythm, saddled with those early fouls. She's found a way to get downhill, but when she hasn't converted, she's been sent to the foul line and just has not been able to knock them down.
Another good pass inside, this time to Warnock, and the Iowa offense is clicking.
Pam, this is where you see the chemistry of this team. Pre-Caitlin Clark, Iowa always move without the basketball, right? But hunting ways to get open. She will find you.
Yes.
If you just move. She doesn't need a lot of time. She doesn't need a lot of space.
And you always have to be ready. Nice dish off to Miller, who finally gets her first points of the game. Quay had missed her first 9 from the floor. Leading scorer with 13 points per game on average. Warnock had it taken away. Sherrod finishes with the left hand. That's the lead down to 11. Marshall hip checked out there, nothing called. They play on. Warnock, Martin, foul.
And Caitlin Clark again, eyes up, she's scanning. McKenna Warnock makes herself available. Leads her to the rim, able to get to 2. I like what Colorado's doing right now, turning up the defense, coming with the traps in this 2-3 zone.
Trying to get back into this game. Martin now at the free throw line. And Clark told us earlier this season the world would be a better place if there were more people like Kate Martin on the planet. He just really enjoys playing with her. The selfless nature, the do anything player for this team. Plays with injuries. Conley looking for help. Here's Sherrod, shot clock really skinny. Sonano got a hand on it. And another whistle. That's going to be the 4th on either Sonano or Clark. And they got Sonano for it. So O'Grady quickly back in for Sonano. Tiana Jones, 5th-year player. Her 3rd year at Colorado, first couple of years in Washington, D.C. at Georgetown University. Hits them both. Charlotte Whitaker checking in for the first time, number 45 for Colorado, a senior from New Zealand.
So you see this zone and how they're extended on the wings. Continue to watch the traps when the ball goes to the wing. But right now, Caitlin Clark's going to wind this shot clock down. I'd bring an on-ball screen up and try to get her some space right here. See how they play it.
Sadler all over her. Caitlin picks up her dribble. Warnock turns, tries to create something, and in doing so, got fouled by Jones. That is now 3 on Jones, so foul trouble now mounting for both ball clubs. Molly Davis is going to come in so Caitlin Clark doesn't commit her 4th foul. Very smart move.
Yes, absolutely. And Frida Foreman's going to come in for offensive purposes. The chess match.
And Foreman, pardon me, playing with 4 fouls. But you mentioned it, they could just, Iowa just packing in the zone with Foreman not out there, by far their best 3-point shooter. Here's Warnock. One out of 2. Now, Sherrod has to hurry, does just that. Got a good screen from Whitaker, but couldn't get the last shot to fall. Iowa outscored Colorado by a dozen in that 3rd quarter. When we come back, Holly's going to talk to Lisa Bluter.
Welcome back to the Seattle region here with Coach Lisa Bluter of Iowa. Coach, you came out from the second half, started on a hot run, 13-0 at one point. What changed for your team there?
You know, I thought we buckled down on defense. I thought our defense got a lot better. Really trying to deny Frida. She's really, you know, has a hot hand right now. So trying to keep the ball out of her hands as best we can. And we got our fast break going.
How do you navigate some of your foul issues right now and keep that flow of your offense?
Yeah, we have foul issues, but they got a few foul issues as well. So, you know, definitely trying to keep the up-tempo going, but, you know, obviously we have to maybe play a little bit more zone than we would want to right now.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Holly.
So Somebody else got it going in the third quarter as we take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance. Caitlin Clark, what a quarter.
Yeah, she had an outstanding quarter, finding her open teammates. Again, she started it looking to facilitate, knocking down big shots, getting in passing lanes. She really was doing it all, and the energy, the emotion, helping the Hawkeyes get off to that strong start.
Caitlin Clark with 11 points in the third quarter. Iowa trailed by 1 at the half. Second quarter, Caitlin only had 2. And that is why she's our Capital One rewarding performance, turning things on in the third quarter. Pam Ward, Stephanie White, and Holly Rowe joining you from Seattle. Another game upcoming as Ole Miss, who took out Stanford, getting ready to take on Louisville. Louisville winning at Texas. Iowa's the only team that got here by hosting and winning on their home floor. All the other 3 teams, pardon me, had to go on the road and win.
And upset those home teams.
Abby Marshall fouled as we begin the fourth quarter. Jalen Sherrod's fourth, so she heads out. Kendall Wetta comes in for her. Sherrod 9 points on the day. Gabby Marshall gets her first 3. Clark gets another assist.
Well, you could see Gabby Marshall, she was wanting that ball. Her feet were set, she let it fly.
And now with Sonano out, Vonleh doing what you thought they should do, right? Attack O'Grady.
I absolutely do. I think you give Vonleh touches down low, let her attack. Frida Foreman still in the game with those 4 fouls, so I put those 2 on the same side so she's got somebody to kick it back out to.
Iowa holding on to that 12-point advantage. Pass all the way across the court to Martin. Hit the backboard. Just Foreman with the ball in her hands.
Give it to her. Yeah.
Gabby Marshall with the defensive play on the other end, a 3-ball.
Well, Caitlin Clark draws multiple defenders, the top 2 of that zone, and you just can't get out quick enough if you're the bottom to get Gabby Marshall.
Well, Gabby Marshall told us that she started the season not in a slump. It was so bad it was actually a goalie. She said, I've really started coming in more 3 times a week, 1 time on the weekends, and shoot for 45 minutes, sometimes on the gun by myself, other times working with the coach. She said, I just knew it was bound to happen. And also, my teammates kept screaming at me, shoot it when you're open. She said, I went back to basics. I worked on my fundamentals, and now it's coming for me at the right time. I'm glad it's coming now in March Madness.
It certainly is coming at the right time. She has been terrific for the Hawkeyes, and she shows you she can get to the rim too.
So after the 3, Marshall finishes with a 2. You get the lead back up to 12. Martin that time with the deflection for the Hawkeyes. Wetta in playing the point, but Sherrod's going to come back in at the next whistle. Wetta dribbled right in to Clark, 2-on-1, Nornock. You don't see her fumble too many passes. It's the 11th turnover for the Hawks.
Well, Gabby Marshall had just knocked down a 3-point shot, so you try to run her off the 3-point line, and she does a terrific job of going to the other side and finishing off the glass.
Gabby, a senior from Cincinnati, made the Big Ten tournament team. She had 62% of her field goals, including most of her threes, in the biggest win in the Big Ten final as they just obliterated Ohio State, scoring over 100 points. (105-72) was that final. Caitlin Clark had a triple-double. Miller over Warnock with the much-needed 3.
You knew it was a matter of time before Quay Miller found it. She got a couple of easy ones. And now the first 3 of the second half for Colorado. Started the game 6 of 13. 1 of their last 7, and that was a big one.
Clark, can she answer? Of course.
Ma'am, I don't care where she is in the building. She can't have that much space.
And a foul as the ball comes over half court.
Well, Quay Miller from just down the road, 20 minutes away. The home crowd for her knocking down a three.
Last foul on Warnock for Iowa, just her first. Weta driving on O'Grady, the challenge, rebound Vonleh. And then O'Grady could not pick up the rebound.
And that's 2 bunnies in a row that Vonleh's not been able to convert. When you're playing a team that scores the basketball like the Hawkeyes, the margin for error is slim. You got to be able to put those in.
Vonleh with a high ceiling, according to head coach J.R. Payne. Clark inside to O'Grady, who got it knocked away by Miller. But Sherrod's a little shaken up. Iowa hangs on to it, 24 seconds to shoot. Again, no Sonano on the bench with 4 personals. Clark was just flat out grabbed. And that's Foreman's 5th. Not a good way to go out. Foreman with 19 of her 21 in the first half, and the junior from Denmark, you can see the emotion now as she heads to the bench. 30 seconds to get a sub in, so both teams will try to take advantage, but boy, Foreman was so huge in that first half.
She really was, and saddled with foul trouble for much of this second half, and just got herself caught in a tough situation there in the corner. But now again, if you're Colorado, you lose the floor spacer. Even if she doesn't shoot, she had 19 in the first half, only 2 in the second half, but even if she doesn't shoot, she spreads the defense. She spaces the floor.
She's out as we approach 6.5 minutes to go. O'Grady out to set a screen for Clark. Caitlin pulls up, tries to go off glass, but it's off the mark. Here's Sherrod. Inside, Vonleh, good help defense by Marshall, but Weta saves it. And the 3 for Sadler.
Great extra pass by Quay Miller.
Sadler just her 15th 3 of the season. Martin decides to get it back to Clark. Sonano's going to come back in soon. O'Grady with the follow. O'Grady with 4 points, filling in for Sonano, who has been in foul trouble. Vonleh to Miller. One hand, gets it in. They're having a good second half after being shut out in the first half. Now Miller coming up with the steal. Clark has to be careful. Foul-wise, terrific pass from Weta over to Vonleh. Lisa Bluter.
I think she needs a timeout.
Yep. Tell him to come over to have court, but not calling the timeout. Caitlin Clark goes coast to coast.
Maybe Caitlin Clark sensed it too. Everybody thought they were going to call it. She goes to the rim.
Weta, 3. Vonleh.
18 offensive rebounds for the Buffs.
Miller bottled up. Gets it to Sherrod. Left wide open. Sadler again. Another offensive board. Miller with space. There's the timeout. Colorado has trimmed the lead to just 6 with plenty of time left. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? A 10-4 run by Colorado has them within 6. Caitlin Clark, 1 point away from 30. Frida Foreman, 19 of her 21 in the first half is fouled out. Quay Miller coming alive here as Colorado has made this a close ball game. When this game is over, we will have Louisville and Ole Miss, and you see the second part of the part in the Greenville bracket. These teams will meet in Dallas, the ultimate winners in the Final Four, with Louisville and Ole Miss. Coming up, Ole Miss off that huge upset of Stanford. Angel Baker in the house, a senior out of Indianapolis. Coming up at the top of the hour right here on ESPN. Holly Rowe was listening in to Lisa Bruder's last huddle.
Right, she called that timeout and she told her team with great confidence, we're in control. She reminded them that they've got 3 timeouts left to use one if it help avoid a turnover, but the biggest message was boxing out. Clark with the basket there. They have been getting killed on the boards. Keep in mind, no Hannah Stuelke here in the second half, just a minute 30 for their post player in this game.
20 offensive rebounds they've given up, and you know Lisa Bruder went to Hannah Stuelke early in the ball game, and she looked like she might not mentally quite be ready for the moment, has chosen to go with Addison O'Grady.
There's Stuelke. She has been dealing with an injured ankle. Now Caitlin's got 31.
Yeah, I like it when Iowa runs that ISO, and it's typically out of a timeout. They give her the whole side of the floor to work with, and yes, Caitlin, we see you flexing on them.
Her 11th 30-point game this year, pardon me, 33rd of her career. She's also topped 40 points twice this season. Outside shot, Sonano back in the game. Comes up with the rebound, but then Sadler took it away.
Right now, you have to, if you're the Hawkeyes, you've got to make sure that you're sure every time, because Colorado is so good with that pressure in their hands and their activity level. Nothing is going to be easy.
Known for their defensive identity. Iowa able to get the ball back. Trying to hang on. Remember, they played Georgia in the second round. Had a little bit of a scare. Went out in the second round last year at home to Creighton. And the Iowa players told us they were feeling a little bit of maybe a deja vu feeling. Vonleh with the terrific pass from Sherrod.
Sherrod, so good when she gets downhill. She makes the right reads, the right decisions. You've got to give her space and try to contain her, because if she breaks you down, every rotation has to be perfect. If not, she exposes it.
Sonano was posting up hard, ball a little bit too strong. Warnock battling for it, and they're going to get Warnock for the foul. That was the second on Warnock.
Wow, that really could have gone either way. You see Warnock's arm come over Sherrod. You see Sherrod kind of in the way in terms of movement, but that was just 2 players getting after it. Every possession matters. Look at the emotion.
And a timeout now. Actually taken by Colorado. Coach Towns, Toriano Towns, making sure that Sherrod is all right. So the Elite Eight is shaping up in this NCAA tournament. All roads leading to Dallas. Miami almost blew a 21-point lead. Maddie Sechrist and Villanova fell. Jasmine Robbins with a new career high. And Utah, man, they had a couple of free throws to tie it up in the last seconds. Couldn't close it out. Angel Reese with another double-double, tying an SEC record. Some thrilling games, and we have one shaping up here. Iowa had been in control, leading by as many as 15 points in this game. And now it's trimmed down to just 6. The winner gets the winner of our nightcap between Louisville and Ole Miss.
And we've seen throughout this tournament, no lead is safe. A lot of comebacks, tremendous parity.
Weta giving it up to Sherrod, who drives at Sonano. Remember, Sonano's playing with 4 fouls. A sigh of relief, Hawkeye fans. They called that on Gabby Marshall with Sonano in the vicinity.
Well, Sonano lucked out right there because she was taking a chance reaching for that basketball. I think you got to play disciplined defense.
Weta handing it off to Vonleh, who backs up, couldn't get enough on it. Warnock with the board. Inside 2 minutes now, and Clark is fouled by Weta. That is the third on Kendall. And the only kid from Colorado, pre-med at Colorado, 4.0 GPA. Not bad. Clark turns the corner, knowing the clock is an ally. Taken away from Warnock. Sherrod driving and scoring.
And got fouled.
Wasn't called.
It wasn't called, but boy, that was a tough finish with contact.
Sherrod working on a double-double herself with 11 points and 9 assists. Then Martin is fouled near the sideline.
I mean, this is just such a strong, tough finish by Sherrod. She goes in, she takes the contact, she finishes with the offhand.
You're right, quite a bit of contact that you often see called a foul. Sherrod questioning why that didn't happen. Great player for Coach J.R. Payne. Talked about how quiet she was on their recruiting Zooms. He said, Jalen said 3 words, and she looked at her staff and said, did that go well? They had no idea, but it did go well. And they were thrilled to welcome Sherrod to Boulder.
I like the 2-man game. They're going to bring 2 to Caitlin Clark, so you got to find the open player.
Sherrod fell down. Sonano, left-handed finish. Clark and Sonano. What a tandem. Extends the lead to 6.
Well, 2 players coming at Caitlin Clark, and she has just enough time and space. And give Monica Sonano a lot of credit right there because she held her seal for a long time. She stayed locked in and focused over outstretched arms and finished with the offhand.
Sonano, 7 of 9 from the floor tonight. There are a lot of Iowa fans in Seattle. Great crowd on hand here for this Seattle 4 regional.
These Hawkeye fans know how special this group is, and this group is not going to be around for another year. Monica Sonano stayed for the 5th year for an opportunity to pursue a Final Four. The same starting lineup for the last 3 years. You just don't see that in college basketball anymore.
And McKenna Warnock also playing in her final season. And what a special player Sonano has become. And she was a project when she came to Iowa City. They had to rework her shot. And she's become one of the most efficient players in the country for the past 4 years. One minute to go. Too strong. Sanano with the rebound is a big one. And the Hawkeye fans starting to feel it a little bit, but it's still just a 2-possession game.
Yeah, I would say a very little bit, but because right now, the way that Colorado can get after you, they can turn you over quickly, they can get in passing lanes, they're quick, they're aggressive. You know, time and score situation, you're the Hawkeyes, you have the lead, you have timeouts. Most important thing is get the ball in bounds. If you can't, use another timeout, because Colorado is going to be flying around on the defensive end of the floor.
There you see the reset possession arrow in favor of the Buffs, but Iowa with the basketball. Both teams in the bonus. Caitlin Clark in the second half, 18 points, 7 of 11 shooting, and 5 assists, really coming alive after struggling in the second quarter. Team is down by 1 at the break. A little physical in there, Steph.
It's getting a little chippy. The last couple of possessions.
So much on the line. Colorado at first Sweet 16 in 20 years. There's a foul, and Sherrod goes to the bench with her 5th. Incredible season for the senior from Birmingham. Kate Martin heads to the free throw line, where she is 3 of 5 tonight. Sherrod fouls out with 11 points and 9 assists. Led the Pac-12 in assists this season. Martin delivers.
Assists and steals, was on the all-defensive team. It's an outstanding season, and there's an illegal screen, yes.
Vonleh, as Marshall crashes to the court, and Marshall took a scary hit to the face in the second round.
She did. She did, and you know, this is one of those fouls that post players get so frustrated with.
The previous play is under review for a potential upgrade.
I don't think it's upgradable, but that's your ball handler's foul right there, because the ball handler's not using the screen. She gives too much space, enough for Gabby Marshall to try to get through.
So right now, just a common foul called on Vonleh.
Yeah, I don't think that there was anything excessive. She had her knee out wider than her hip. She leaned a little bit, but
Vonleh, Arizona transfer again. She was recruited out of high school by J.R. Payne. Went to Washington, and actually when Vonleh wanted to transfer, called her right away and was thrilled to have her come back to the Pacific Northwest, or from the Pacific Northwest to Colorado. Kid from Oregon. Alyssa Barlow, Cameron Inouye, and Angela Enlund with the discussion.
After video review, we have upgraded the foul to intentional due to excessive contact. Any player for Iowa can shoot 2 free throws, and Iowa will retain the ball at the division line.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I think that that is a screen. I think it's one of those screens where her teammate didn't use the screen. So the angle with Gabby Marshall came. She did lean in the shoulder a little bit, but I don't agree with that.
So Martin heads to the free throw line, and Iowa will get the ball after the foul shots. And the argument for upgrading the foul is that Vonleh did move over to the left a little bit, and you saw that she came up on her left leg. So that's a lot of momentum too. And Marshall is a smaller player, and she went flying.
Yeah, no, yeah, certainly Gabby Marshall is a smaller player than Vonleh, but you can't penalize her for that.
They did.
They did. They did.
And that's huge. Now it's a 10-point advantage and the ball for the Hawkeyes. Clark looking over at Martin, and they give each other a couple of non-verbal looks, and they both laugh. Marshall short on the 3. Colorado's got to hurry. Timeout taken. So it's been known as the law firm of Clark and Sonano.
Christy Winterstadt gave them that nickname, and they just work so well together. You know, they know where each other is going to be. They're consistently in sync. They know what to expect, and it was interesting talking to Monica Sonano, telling us how Caitlin Clark consistently has pushed her to be better since the day she stepped foot on campus.
And the law firm has combined for 46 points tonight. Some spiffy graphics coming your way. This is the 3rd year that they have played together. Monica Sonano led the country in field goal percentage twice, came in second once, and we all know what Caitlin can do.
And what they do together.
Highest scoring duo in D1 basketball today. We hope that car has enough juice to get out of the cornfields and go watch some basketball. But boy, what a duo they have been. And there you see their combined numbers tonight. Sonano now on the bench. Clark also with 8 assists, just 3 rebounds for her, which is under her season average of 7.5. Sadler, short, rebound Martin. And Lisa Bluter calling a timeout. Now the Colorado Buffaloes, again, coming in to this season, were picked 8th in the Pac-12. They have used that as fuel all year. They had some big wins in the Pac-12, lost to Stanford in double overtime, so very competitive in that tough conference. 4 wins against the AP Top 15, just 4 in the previous 6 years before that. And it has been 20 years when the legendary Seal Berry was their head coach since they've gotten this far in the tournament.
Well, this is a Colorado program that has been storied in the past, had great success. And Jalen Sherrod said, I wanted to come to Colorado to get us back on the map. And boy, has she ever. They have had an outstanding season, an outstanding back-to-back seasons, and a bright future.
Last year they won 22 games, lost in the first round to Creighton in Iowa City, and then Creighton in the second round took out the Hawkeyes. So both of these teams were eliminated by Creighton last year in the NCAA tournament. Vonleh has just fouled out, but certainly brighter days on the horizon for J.R. Payne and her Buffs team. Their 3rd place finish in the Pac-12 in the regular season, their best ever. One of those legends is on the bench for them, Shelly Sheets.
Shelly Sheets was a heck of a player. Somebody that could fill it up.
I think she was the Kodak All-American, which back in the day was
WBCA now. Yes.
Yep, was the biggie. And still the only one Colorado's ever had. Iowa scored the last 7 points to break open what had been just a 4-point advantage. Banked in the 3. Sadler not done yet.
And Lisa Bluter not taking a chance trying to inbound the full length of the floor.
Shelly Sheets right there on the gray top. Here's a look at the bracket. Louisville and Ole Miss coming up at the top of the hour-ish right here on ESPN. And then tomorrow, South Carolina, UCLA, Maryland, Notre Dame. That part of the Greenville bracket stayed, Greenville 1 stayed intact seed-wise. Ole Miss, a lot of people burn their brackets after what they did when they went into Stanford. Terrific defensive club. Congratulations, Katie Meyer. Miami into the Elite Eight for the very first time. Kim Mulkey in her coat of many colors and feathers as LSU beat Utah with another double-double. If you haven't seen it, you gotta do it. You just gotta Google it, rate it, never wear it again, maybe.
You'll be able to find it, that's for sure. But Angel Reese continues to just dominate the double-double area.
Go ahead, Hall.
All right, how about this? Angel Reese has 76 points, 51 rebounds, 12 blocks, and 7 steals in 3 games. Nobody in the NBA, WNBA, NCAA men, NCAA women have had that kind of production in 3 games. Show out Angel Reese.
And when you think about the Player of the Year race, you know, you think about Caitlin Clark, and to me, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have been the front runners. I mean, the numbers that they have both put up have been incredible. Numbers we haven't seen in a long, long time.
With all due respect to Aaliyah Boston, who was the Player of the Year last year, nobody does what Caitlin Clark does. She is a combination, you know, you've said this, I know Holly's made this point. It's like if Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi ever morphed into one player, it would be her.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's got the scoring ability and the swag of Diana Taurasi and the court vision and, you know, pace controlling lead guard.
Passing.
And her, I mean, of Sue Bird.
Unbelievable. And has become a better defender. The Iowa Hawkeyes, after being down at the half, come up with a huge win, eliminating Colorado 87-77. And Iowa moving on to the Elite Eight. Clark and Sonato combining for 46 points. Foreman with 19 points in the first half, then got into foul trouble. And they're going back to the Elite Eight. Last time they did it, 2019, when Megan Gustafson was the Monica Sonato of her time.
Well, this is a team, Lisa Bluter says, you know, I feel like destiny is a little bit on our side. And she said, we are hungry. And this is why Monica Sonato stayed, right? The opportunity to advance to a Final Four.
18 of Caitlin Clark's 31 points came in the second half. Sonato, Clark, and company moving on to play the winner of our nightcap. Coming up shortly on ESPN between Louisville and Ole Miss. Greenville 1. Sweet 16 gets underway tomorrow. Let's head over to Holly.
Well, I am here with the law firm and the Esquires, as it were. You go down and you're down at half. You're not having the most efficient shooting night. How did you reset in that moment to come out better in the third?
Yeah, you know, it's tough when you get in foul trouble, but I think, you know, just resetting, you know, I've been working on my mental toughness all year and being able to respond, and I thought that's exactly what I did, and I, you know, helped lead this team to the Elite Eight, so I'm super happy, and, you know, battled through Mon's foul trouble. A lot of people stepped up big for us tonight, but, you know, we're excited, but we got another one to win.
You helped in that run to start the second half. Good, tough baskets inside. How did you help in that moment?
I mean, I think my teammates do such a good job of finding me when I'm in my best position. They know I'm going to score when I'm in these certain positions. So, I mean, they all do such a great job. Caitlin, Kate, people off the bench, anybody. everybody, so I'm really thankful for them.
I mean, this is a 2-possession game with about a minute and a half left to go. How did you find, you said it, the mental toughness to close out this win and get to the Elite Eight?
You know, I think it goes for how old this group is. We've been together for 3 years. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but, you know, we're savoring every moment we get Mon and McKenna with us. But, you know, I think just, you know, bind into each other. Don't let anybody inside our circle, and that's what it's all about, and I'm just so proud of this group.
Thank you, ladies.
Thanks, Holly.
Thank you.
Being together for 3 years has been a great thing, certainly for Iowa and their fans. Win number 29 on the season for Iowa. Colorado finishes 25-9. Coming up in 30 minutes, Ole Miss and Louisville from right here in Seattle. We will see you then. Right now, let's go to the studio, led by Elle Duncan.